Hello folks, I'm at the Chery Innovation Conference today, and this is just bonkers. I've just sat through a lengthy presentation, which on a scale that you can't really comprehend. There were 3,000 people at this thing from 80 different countries, and the size of Chery and its various brands, sort of globally, is massive. The fastest growing company on the automotive company on the Fortune 500. And from a pure sort of innovation and technology point of view, some of the stuff they've got going on does boggle the mind. One of the things I've seen is a megawatt charger, which it might be this one, I'm not sure. But they've got these charging stations, megawatt charging stations that can do 500 kilometers of range in 5 minutes. Vehicle to grid technology. As you can see, you'll literally back your car in and it will plug it in for you. We've seen an amphibious vehicle setup, which can do 7 kilometers in water, and it's using propellers as well as the wheels to actually propel the car along. This is called the I-Bar, which is a sort of bus stroke train type situation, really. Which can be driven, or you can just let it drive you. That could obviously be used in taxi situations or even family situations. Here's a little bit of that up here. Lots of brands from Chery that we don't get in the UK, like Exceed, there's Luxeed, there's iCar, got the Moda C7 here. Quite a nice looking thing. Also heard about the solid state battery technology. They said they've hired talent from all over the world on that. They've got 7,000 R&D engineers, 10,000 software engineers working on the next stage of everything, basically. They think they're going to have solid state batteries out in 2027. Their current battery technology, they called it Rhino technology. It's got 6 different layers of protection, and we've just seen a demonstration of they've compressed the battery to 50%. So think about that, it's been squashed to 50% and then 100% submerged underwater, and still there's no sort of terrible heat dissipation, no explosions, nothing like that. There's something very shiny going on here. That's the Falcon 700. Also seen the new intelligent cockpit functionality, like autonomous driving. And they've shown that in some really challenging conditions. They've shown us a flying car, but we even had a humanoid robot walk onto the stage and have a chat with everyone and tell us about how she could make our lives better. Honestly, like 5 years ago, half the stuff I've seen this morning was science fiction, and maybe in 5 years' time it will all be old hat. But I've just come out of this thing completely mind-boggled. There's safety technology, and it's quite clever because we've got an example here. We're going to see some crash tests later, actually, which I'm really looking forward to. But they've won like 54 global 5-star safety ratings. But they're saying with all their testing, their crash testing and everything, they go way beyond sort of international standards. So they do really extreme crash testing, and I hope they show us the really extreme stuff later on. But they actually use data from 12,000 actual collisions, and they've applied AI to that to try and just develop ways of preventing injury and obviously fatality. But there's quite a lot of detail on that, and I'm not summarising it very well, but but needless to say, I was impressed. I've seen this in action this morning as well. I'll overlay a bit of footage if it's if it's worth overlaying, but you've got 4-wheel independent steering, and one of the things that does is allows you to do things like tank turns and parallel park, literally perpendicular to the space, obviously turning incredibly tight situations. There is a bit of a demonstration going on the screen behind. It can also help with braking because those front wheels can sort of toe in to actually help the car come to a stop more quickly. And they've also talked a lot about their new braking technology, which they say is far superior to what's being offered by the likes of BMW and Mercedes-Benz, which is interesting. The other thing this does, this independent steering, is it gives you more luggage space because you don't have an axle going across the back of the car, which was a byproduct of independent steering that I didn't really consider. Also seen a big collaboration signed on stage today between, I think it was 20 of the top technology universities in China and Chery. And these are little projects that all the universities have been involved in. And I guess it's showing how their developments have actually sort of influenced what's happening with Chery at the moment. Obviously, like the robotic stuff, we've seen some new manufacturing sort of industrial robots as well as the sort of humanoid type stuff. And then we've got a lot about the automated driving systems, advanced safety systems again, like collision avoidance stuff, ADAS stuff. Mega impressive, folks. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the cars that we don't get in the UK. We've got the Exceed ES, Exceed Stera ES, I think it is. Lots and lots of saloon cars still in China, and lots of long wheelbase saloon cars. You'll even see long wheelbase versions of cars we're much more familiar with in the UK, but not as long wheelbase. Here's one here fully bagged out. Look at that bad boy. Wow. And then my car of this trip is this, the iCar V23, which I think is incredible. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen a bit of this. I saw the first one yesterday, and I'm a bit obsessed. It seems to be an interesting platform where you can get lots of variants of the car, like all kinds of different flavors, but it's very appealing to me. It's got like Ford Bronco vibes, Suzuki Jimny. Don't know if you remember that fat Jimny they did like many years ago now. But look, there's another one. I think it's great. It's only 2 seats in the back, a bit like the Jimny. But that could do very well in the UK, I think. I must admit, that is a take my money sort of car. I think it's great. There's just something about it I love. And look at this bad boy. I could see that doing quite well in the US somehow. I'm going to move further along here. There are so many Chery brands that I was completely unaware of. And on the roads over here, they're just everywhere. So many EVs on the road here as well. And scooters, you know, everyone's seen footage of China, I'm sure, people banging around on little mopeds everywhere. They're nearly all electric now, which is a nightmare when they're coming behind you on a pavement because they're silent, but you know. So this is the G700, which there's been a lot of chat about the G700 in the presentations this morning. In fact, it's one of these that they've got the amphibious mode for, and a fairly robust looking off-road course there. And then we've got lots more cars here. Chinese auto world champion. So lots of Exceeds. Here's another Jet Tour. Not massively dissimilar to the iCar, but the iCar is just, I feel, a little bit funkier. I've got some time for that as well, though, I must admit. Got the L7 Plus. I don't even know what brand that one is. There's another iCar V23. There's also a V27. I don't know if they've got one on this stand, but the V27 is just a much bigger variant of the same thing. We've got a Moda 9 at the back there. And then this, I saw one of these yesterday. This is a Chery T11. And super luxurious, and one of the best door thunks I can recall seeing. But look at this thing. Very premium, large SUV. Let's have a look in the back. I mean, look at that. Very much business class for your backseat passengers. Natty little shelf there. And this one's set up in 6 feet configuration. Pop out door sill, thunk. Nice. So that's actually a full win. It's got the, so that's a Chery full win T11. Again, that feels very US market. But I think they're selling cars in 120 countries. You know, Dubai obviously is another market for that car. There's the A9L, full win A9L. Full win's obviously the sort of executive brand, if you like. And then we've got this funky little bad boy, the Q9. There you go. It's a bit of a vibe, isn't it? My voice is rapidly failing me today. There we go, folks. That's the 2025 Chery Innovation Conference. Quite poorly explained. I'm writing a blog post about this as well. I've been typing away whilst in the conference there. So head on over to the website if you want to get a bit more detail and less sort of random chat from me. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you have. Please give it a thumbs up and a hype. That all helps, as do your comments. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.